Hi guys, thanks so much for joining us here on the Men's Movement. We're having a deeper dive today. We're going to talk about bone density and the dangers that it's causing to a lot of the men out there. You'll hear later in the video, we'll talk, I don't know why later's over there, but we'll talk about later in the video about the dangers that's happening. Men are 2 times more likely to die within an episode of a fall or a fracture. And this is not good, man. This is like a hidden thing that's almost considered a woman's business and not a men's business. So we're going to talk about this, but we're going to talk about it in a slower, deeper way. The Men's Movement, yes, we do the fast videos where we go talk really quickly, but I think it's important for us men to dive deeper in these issues and really learn about what's happening, because it's a hidden disease that's affecting us all. And when I say hidden, it's considered a woman's thing. It's considered a female thing. It's underdiagnosed, undertested, and understudied. And we need to live longer. We need to live stronger. We need to live healthier. We also need to live fuller. So at the Men's Movement, it's about helping you move and change your shape one man at a time, changing the whole community. But I'm going to here to talk about bone density. So I'd like to cross to the bone density scan here. And as you know, in all of our videos, we have a bit of a word play, and at the end we have a bit of a muck around and play with the words. But I want you to sit back, relax. We'll take about 10, 15 minutes to talk about this. Chunk it down if you want. Watch 5 minutes, watch 5 minutes later. I don't mind, but I really want you to watch the whole thing, because we're going to expose the whole thing and give you solutions and help you to increase your bone density. So I want you to sit back and discuss the bone density. And if you want to, feel free to take notes. Feel free to take notes about this, because it's really important, guys. This is not just a random joke that we go, hey, it's a passing phase. This is increasing. This chances of falls and having a fracture for men is increasing by up to 310% between 1990 and 2050. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we are in the year 2025. So in the next 25 years, so if you're 50, 60, 70, this is going to affect you. This is about you and your health and your longevity for the rest of your life. You can choose to be stronger, you can choose to be healthier, or you can ignore it. So I don't want you to ignore it. So if you go back to that overhead there, I don't want you to ignore it and deny this. We don't want to deny this, okay? This is not a secret woman's business, guys. This is not a secret woman's business. It used to be. I recently lectured. I get asked to lecture a lot of, at conferences and stuff. I recently lectured a group of ladies on this, and all about bone density. I talked about prevention, about falling, about what's going to happen. And I said to them, it used to be 1 in 5 females experienced osteoporosis and bone density issues. Do you know the stat now is 1 in 5 guys experience this? Yes, there's more women who get it, but more guys die from fractures. I'll say that again. More women experience fractures, but twice as many guys who get a fracture will die from that fracture. Yes, it might be due to complications with cardiovascular disease and other things are combined to create that stat, but that stat is there. Statistics don't lie. If you get, and I'll say it again, very slowly, guys. If you get a fracture, where's my overhead? If you get a fracture, here it is there. 1 in 5 guys will experience a fracture, but 2 times as many guys will experience a death from that fracture. So take the notes, guys. We cannot deny this anymore. We cannot deny the reality of this. So bone density and bone density issues with guys is not just, if you were to search this on the internet, it's not just a hot topic now. It's been a hot topic for quite a while. This is not a new thing, guys. I'm running out of space on my Scrabble board. The bone density thing is not a new thing, and we don't want to sit. We don't just want to sit there and just listen to this. I want you to sit there and learn from this. I really want you to learn so we can make a difference. We've got to make a difference and change the shape of one. If we can change the shape of you, it changes the whole shape of the whole community. If we can make you stronger, healthier, fitter, we can change everyone. So it's really important to discover and discuss bone density. Like I said, I was at this conference recently, and it was full of females talking about bone density. And that's not unusual because I've done that all my life. I've run a gym for over 28 years. I've run a gym here in Melbourne in Australia. And we run programs. We ran a program called Weight for Age, which was I love playing with words, as you know, as we can tell from all the words up there. But we ran a program called Weight for Age, which is a thing they'd use in horses. But it was weight for age, like weights for age, lifting weights for age, and also weight for age, as in wait for age, delay the process of becoming older. So I've been doing this for years, and throughout that whole program, for 28 years, I've done that program. Can you believe that? For 28 years, I've run that program here at the gym in Australia. Not one guy has participated in that program. I'm going to let that sink in. 28 years, I've been running a program on bone density. I've been running a program throughout the whole community of the city of Port Phillip, advertising at the city of Port Phillip, and getting people to come in and do 2 weight training sessions a week, and not one guy has turned up for that program. Because us men think it's not us. Because we think it's a woman's thing. We think it's a secret woman's business. It's not going to affect us. It's not going to affect us because we're men. It's not going to affect us. And the sad truth is, as you can see here, this is going to increase by 310% by the year 2050. I don't know if you can see that there. It's increasing by 310%. If there was a disease that increased in the next 25 years, which was going to go up by 310% in the female population, Jesus, people will be jumping up and they'd be in the front page of the newspaper. But it's because it affects men. I'm not jumping on any bandwagon here or soapbox here. It's interesting, isn't it? So we got to not make this a secret. And just on that, I said not one man has participated in that program. Do you know the men I've had training at the gym? The men I've had training who've come in specifically for bone density, who've trained with me one-on-one. They've trained to do a personal training session with me one-on-one. I've had men come in one-on-one training to increase their bone density, to prevent their falling in the future. I've had men come in. And you know what the interesting thing is of those men? There's the secret, guys. They've all been doctors. What's it tell you? The only men who've come in to seek training with me and increase their bone density have been doctors, which tells me that this is an issue which is out there. The studies show that it happens, yet for some reason it seems to be a secret woman's business. Your bones are no different to a female's bones. So we've got to get your bones strong, get them healthy. So we've got to do a few things. We've got to prevent them from getting worse and increase their bone density. So I'll do a few things with you here just to discuss a few things, all right? Just get this is the stuff I lectured. So it's not secret. I lectured this to people recently at that conference. Like I said, I've lectured this throughout the ages. I've been doing this stuff now for 4 decades. And one of the things with bone density is it goes up with age. And you get to the age of, say, 20 or 30, and that's your bone density here. And it peaks around the ages of 20 and 30, and then it decreases. And it gets this section here. And that's around about, your 60s, 70s, and 80s. That's down this section here. So what we want to do with your bone density, we want to capture it at its peak and keep training to maintain it. So we had 2 people here, and we had twins. And one of them was exercising, both of them were exercising during their childhood, and their bone density is increasing. That's what happens. As we age, our bone density increases because we're doing exercise and things like that. We're avoiding all the crappy foods, and our bone density is going up. By the way, if you have crappy food and a bad diet, your bone density will be down here already. So if you have a good upbringing where you have good food, you're avoiding your sugary drinks and things like that, avoiding your coffees and smoking and all that sort of classic stuff, and you've been exercising all your life, your bone density will peak here more than it will peak someone else's. Okay, that's facts, guys. They're the facts with bone density. But there's some more facts, okay? So what happens if you start and maintaining your exercise or maintain your exercise here, your bone density will stay there. If you maintain start exercising, say in your 40s, your bone density will stay there. If you do some intense exercise here in your 60s and 70s, it'll stay there. So what we've got, if we were just sort of to highlight this section here to make the graph clearer, if you maintain your exercise here, and you've got, say, your twin brother who doesn't maintain exercise, right? They say this difference is your increase. Let's put numbers on it to make it easy. Let's say it's 2,000. I don't know what units that would be, but let's pretend their units are 200x, and this person's down to, say, 50x. Your bone density is 150x times or better than that person's there, or your twin brother there, or your twin there. So that's the deal, guys. We want to start exercising or keep exercising. It doesn't matter what age this is, if it's 60, 70, or even 80. If you start exercising here at whatever age you are now, yes, it'd be great. You know that classic thing, when's the great time to plant a tree? You know, the great time to plant a tree is now. The second best time was but best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. Second best time is now. So whatever you start, you want to maintain your exercise like this. So you want to maintain your exercise and start now if you haven't already started. So it's really important to exercise and continuously exercise. We have had some clients at the gym go like this. Scientifically, it's supposed to be wrong. Scientifically, it's not supposed to happen. Isn't that interesting? In science, they say your bone density goes down, and if you exercise, it can maintain the level, but it cannot go up. I've got documented proof it goes up. I've got people have had DEXA studies done, and that's a study where they measure your bone density at your wrist or at your hip or whichever part of the body they decide to measure it at. And it's gone up through training twice a week with us in those programs I was telling you about, twice a week, maintaining bone density and also going up. And with the maintaining your bone density, you maintain your strength, you maintain your balance, you don't fall over as much, and you have a fuller life. I've got two ladies who are in their ninth decade of their life, and they both attribute it to their exercise. One lady is just turned 100 and she's trained with us twice a week for over 20 years. So this is not a secret stuff. It's secret woman stuff because no men are doing it, okay? Or some men are doing it, but there seem to be the doctors in the industry out there who are doing it. So I really want you to maintain your bone density and increase, if we can, your bone density. So let's get back to this. So we don't want to sit all day. We do not want to sit all day. We want to get active. We've got to get active, okay? We don't want to sit. And another thing we don't want to do is we don't want to do this. We don't want to drink soda drinks, guys. Sugary drinks will decrease your bone density. In fact, I think it's 1 can of soda drink will decrease the calcium stored in your body that day. Can you imagine that? 1 can. So we don't want to increase your your sugar intake. Okay. So what do we do to maintain your bone density? Well, some of the things we want to do is do weight-bearing activities. We want to do weight-bearing. And the weight-bearing activities we want to do are the intense ones. We don't want to just go through the motion of training. We don't want to just go, oh, yeah, I can do sets of 15 of these and look around the room. How are you, Joe? Yeah, good. Yeah, I'll see you next week at the party, whatever. Right? That's not doing it. You know that feeling where you get to like the 8th one or the 10th one and it's hard and you do 1 or 2 more and you can just do 1 or 2 more? That's the feeling. You're training for the intensity. It's got to be intense. Come back to here. I've lost my overhead projector. Sorry about that. It's got to be intense. It's got to be intense. It's got to be weight-bearing. So it can't just be cardio on the bike, huffing and puffing intensely. It's got to be intense. It's got to be weight-bearing, so it's got to have weights in it, holding weights or body weight, but it's got to be intense. Body weight's not intense enough. And it's got to be regular. Like I said, that those ladies have been doing it twice a week. Those gentlemen who've been training with me do it. One of them does it 4 times a week, and one does it 3 times a week. So you've really got to do intense, regular weight bearing. That's it. There's no secret. There is no secret to this stuff. Intense, regular weight-bearing activities increase your bone density. That's the secret. You want increased bone density? That's it. Intensity, weight-bearing, and regular. Not that hard, is it? Get to the gym, train, do some push-ups, do some squats, do some squat jumps, do it intensely. But don't just jump on the intensity tomorrow. You jump on the intensity tomorrow, you're going to get sore knees, sore shoulders from doing too many push-ups. So we do it sensibly. If a guy like me says, hey, you should do push-ups, it's really good for you, you don't run out and do 500 push-ups tomorrow. I don't know why people do that. And then, of course, they go to the physio, and the physio says, oh, what did you do? You followed this guy, Jack, on the men's movement, and then they start dissing the men's movement. It's not dissing the exercise, guys. It's dissing your approach to it. So do not just go, right, I've got to do push-ups. I've got to be intensely. You gently work up to the intensity. Okay, very cautious there, guys. We want to do intense, regular weight-bearing activity. That'll keep you, helping you with your bone density. Now, I'll tell you a really interesting thing that's sort of hidden in all of this, and that's milk. How many times have I heard people talk about milk and go, really? Milk, it's full of calcium. It's full of calcium. The bones have calcium in it. The bones has, if this is my picture of a bone, with calcium in it. Milk has calcium in it. So milk is going to put the calcium in the bones, isn't it? Do you know they did a study, a longitudinal study? That means it was done over a long period of time. Of nurses, 80,000 nurses. You know, this study was done on 80,000 nurses, a longitudinal study for over years and years and years. And they found that the more milk consumed by these nurses, the lower the bone density. The more milk consumed by the nurses, 80,000 of them, not 100, the lower the bone density. And what happens, guys, is basic home echo. Cast your mind back to year 9 science. If you put and drink a high-protein diet, it makes the body acidic, right? So you got a container here, which is full of an acid. The container's full of an acid called the body, and the body says, hey, we're going to neutralize this acid because remember, the body wants homeostasis. That's balance. Neutralizes the acids by taking the calcium out of the bones and into the body, into the blood, so it can neutralize it and get rid of it and breathe it out and poo it out and do it, neutralize there. So if you want to get rid of the calcium from your bones, drink lots of high protein, eat lots of high protein, not adequate protein, high protein. So the more milk you drink, the more you take the calcium out of the bones and decrease the bone density. It's counterintuitive. It makes no sense. This industry makes no sense sometimes. Sometimes the marketeers know this. So they put calcium in the milk because they know you need calcium in your bones. It's good for you. So there we go. Here's the solution. We want to sell this product called milk. How are we going to sell it? We'll put calcium into it. We'll tell people, we market it. You need calcium. It's good for you. Put calcium into it, and therefore everyone's jumping up and down saying it's good for you. Milk. Now, I know it's going to disturb a few people now because I've just said, oh, milk's bad. It's evil. I haven't said that. They go, but Mum used to bring milk. But it's advertised. He goes, I don't want to play Dr. Yes But. So I'm not playing Dr. Yes But with you. I'm not a doctor, but I'm not going to play Dr. Yes But. I can tell you one of two things, the truth or what you want to hear. The truth is, the more milk you drink and take into your body, the decrease of bone density. So we've got to do two things. We've got to eat foods that have got calcium in them, nuts, bony fish, sardines. You want to avoid foods that decrease your bone density, like the soda drinks, the sugary drinks, the caffeine drinks, the milks, the high proteins, the liquid. It's just liquid protein. Too much protein, you want adequate protein. You don't want too much protein, you want adequate protein. But that's not my lane. Seek professional advice with the nutrition. My lane is the exercise. I want you to exercise. I want you to do it intensely, regularly, and weight bearing. It's got to be weight bearing, guys, because we want to increase the bone density. We want to increase the bone density to create a healthier, stronger, and not just healthier and stronger, but a person who lives longer. We want to live long, die fast. You don't want to die like my mum sadly died over 20 years in a nursing home. It was the most disgusting thing to watch someone dying slowly. You want to live long, die fast. Get into those 90s, get into the 95s. Right now you're in the 50s, 60s, 70s. 310% is going to go up over the next 25 years. If you fall over and fracture your body, you will die 2 times as likely to die than a female. That's a dangerous stat, guys. That's a really dangerous stat. So you want to get out there, you want to increase your bone density, you want to move, you want to keep moving, guys. Keep reaching for the front door, and I hope you've learned something today. Thanks so much for joining us here. Don't forget to watch the rest of the videos. There's lots of stuff, lots of information there to help you stay stronger, stay healthier, and enjoy it all, guys. Live long, die fast, guys. Thanks so much for joining us here in The Movement. We look forward to seeing less of you next time. Take care. Cheers.
You've been listening to The Men's Movement. Look forward to seeing less of you next time.